On this episode of Goodson All Terrain, Bobby is still dealing with the beaver situation, equipment failures.
And I get here this morning, one of the loaders got a busted hose on it, stripped the threads off of it. Anyway, it's just something else to slow us down.
And a wet mess on the deck.
Last night we had a pretty good rain and deck's a mess, and we're having to push and pull all the trucks in.
This area that we're in is a lot of clay. And actually there's sand underneath the clay. All this clay comes from out the Cape Fear River when it floods every year.
Hauling these logs in the hot sun, gotta clear them all out till there ain't none. Work that tiger cat to death till the job's done and we do it all again. Through the sand beds and the muddy waters, push this old can wear just a little bit harder. Got my 990 pulling to make an honest dollar. It's Goodson's all terrain. Goodson's all terrain. Goodson's all terrain. Rambling throughout the swamps of the North Carolina Cape Fear River presents its own set of challenges. But for Goodson's All Terrain, it's just another ordinary day on the job. Production has been good for the past several weeks, and the addition of the new trucks couldn't have come at a better time. Today, Bobby and his crew are moving deeper into the swamp to bring the deck closer to where the clam bunks are pulling wood. But this morning, the crew received some devastating news regarding one of their most critical meals.
This is Daniel. It's been a while since we making a video, but things have changed a little bit. They've had one of our main meals we've hauled to down in Wilmington, Corbett. They have shut down. I think it's been in business like 104 years. It really sucks for us because now we're having to travel further to haul the same product. We've had to go to Laurinburg and Lumberton. We have hauled down to Montecure with some of the same wood, which we had to burn more fuel to haul the same product. But you know, we still trucking along, still doing what we do, and y'all like and share and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a good day.
Good morning there, fans. This is Wayne Sowers in the woods here, getting ready to get loaded right after lunch. A little bit of update there on what's going on. We had one of our hardwood mills that shut down last month, and put a little bit of damper in our load count. But other than all, what it makes us do, we got to haul a little bit further, so we're burning more fuel, instead of eating into the profit a little bit. But we got one more mill we can haul to. It's about 90-some miles, but we don't know how much wood they're going to take or how long they're going to take it. So right now it's a toss up on the hardwood, but we're going to keep on chucking and see what happens. And Footwood situation going to Georgetown. The guys on the quota now. This time of year normally that's what they do. The inventory is real big, so kind of have too much wood going in the next year, so they put everybody on quota. And then probably next month and one after that, it's the rainy season. You know that's going to be a slowdown, so we're going to see, keep on going, see how it's going to do. Hope everything works all right. I know everybody wants to get a whole lot of load count, but this is the time of the year right here where everything's slowing down. But we done been through it. I've been with it 12 years. It's been worse than it is, but I believe it's gonna work out, and we're gonna make it. So until next time, everybody be safe, and we'll see you then.
Bobby arrives just before 9 a.m. on the new deck. With Corbett shutting his doors for the time being and meal restrictions, the last thing Bobby needs now is equipment failures. He inspects Raul's loader. It appears to be a bad coupling, which is a part of the hydraulic system that controls the grapple. Raul doesn't speak much English, and Bobby doesn't speak any Spanish, so he has to pull Antonio off, the only other working loader on the deck, to translate. A hydraulic system works on the principle that force applied at one point can be transmitted to another point through an incompressible fluid, usually an oil forced by a pump. Hydraulic system manufacturers typically multiply force by manipulating the size and surface area of the system's internal parts. For instance, your car or truck's transmission works off of a hydraulic system. Antonio assists Bobby with the reinstallation of the coupler. This particular coupler has an inline strainer to keep the hydraulic fluid's contaminants at a bare minimum as it recycles through the pump. In other words, it keeps it clean, y'all. For every minute these loaders are down, it costs the company more money. In this strange economical climate, that is what we call working in the red. After the repair is completed, Bobby instructs Raul to fire the 250C back up and rotate the grapple. Both loaders are back in business.
You know, it seems like we get it, which is actually, it's kind of odd to be this far into winter. It's November practically, and it's 80 degrees today, November. But anyway, usually we get this time of the month, we can pretty much run wide open because it's usually wetter than it is now, but we're having a fairly dry season. A lot of the mills are full of wood. Georgetown's not buying wood. And I get here this morning, one of the loaders got a busted hose on it, and people think, well, you ain't got no quota, so you can slow down. No, it's the opposite of that. Whenever you can't haul to a certain place, you got to work twice as hard to try to get the stuff you can haul. Instead of pulling everything out to the loaders, well, you got to pick through the wood and get the logs. All we can sell is logs now. So it's imperative that they get through the pulpwood. You got to move the pulpwood out of the way, get to the logs, bring the logs out here. And when you're cutting just one thing, it's slower. Well, I get here this morning, one loader's got a busted hose, he's down, only got one loader load, got 2 trucks waiting, and just so happened that the hose that busted is some type of specialty fit that's got a mesh strainer in it that keeps the contaminants from the turn motor getting back into the system of the loader, and of course something hit it, stripped the threads off of it, and anyway, it's just something else to slow us down. You know, it's already going to be not a good week anyway because we can't sell pulpwood, and what logs we are getting, we're getting held up by stuff breaking down now. But we'll keep trying. It'll work out.
Next day on the Corbett track, Bobby is still faced with the beaver issue. Corbett has been searching for the beaver dams for weeks, and they finally think they have found the mother lode of all beaver dams.
Well guys, I think we finally found the beaver dams, and it was off Buckle Creek. Of course, we looked back off the 7 Mile Road. I spent a whole day walking through there with the backhoe and didn't find no signs of beavers at all back there. But John, apparently somehow he got in there and he said that there was 11 different dams on Buckle Creek. And the only bad thing about it is right in the middle of the creek. But Smitcher got over there and he was able to get a lot of them cleaned out. We were starting to see the water dropping. Because I don't know if y'all remember back when we was on this deck right here to my right, when we set up right there, the water was a big issue. And you know, and the deeper the water got, the harder this was to get it out. So we actually had to start going back away from the further to the right we went, the shallower the water got. So we've been working off that end now for the last couple of weeks. And but now we got to go back over here and get the other part of the timber that was under the deeper water. Hopefully we can get in there and get that out, because the beavers has killed hundreds of acres of timber out here. I mean, and it's not just one landowner. I mean, Pim's got a 2,500 acre tract here that probably a third of it's dying because of the beavers. Corbett's got several tracts out here, different tracts that has been stressed out by the beavers. Pilgrim's got, you know, just several different landowners over here, and everybody's got the same issue, is the beavers is killing all the wood. You know, we got different markets now we're trying to sell our gum logs to. A new mill just opened up right outside of Lumberton, and which is, it's a good thing because they're paying us by weight, which on the old way of doing it, everybody paid on the door rule, which they measured the end of the log, and there's a rule they go by that says how many board feet's in it. Well, this day and time most people pay by weight. Well, we just started selling gum logs by the weight, and on our sawbucks, I swear I wouldn't want to be a loader man for nothing in the world. These guys has got, you know, you got, when I say 12 foot, it's 12 foot to 12 foot 6, but they got 12, 14, they got 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, and 19 different measurements for different kind of logs going to different places. And there's not even enough room at the end of the sawbuck to put all the little markers down there hardly, you know, where they ain't so confusing. And we're getting logs that are cut. It's supposed to be 18 feet, 18.4, and which we don't have a mark there for because we just started cutting them. So he's kind of guessing that, and he's getting them 18.5, 18.6. And the mill's complaining because they're having to pay us for that 2 inches of wood, you know, because it's on weight that they're not been able to use. So they're crying about that. So we're trying to get that fixed, but it's always something you got to deal with. And you know, we've done something the same way for so many years, and all of a sudden, within the last month or so, we're getting thrown in all these different measurements, and you know, it's crazy. I mean, we'll have pine logs, which we don't cut much pine, but we'll have it going one place, it'll be 17.6. You got to go to another place, it's 18 foot, another place is 19 foot. Different, you know, it's just all messed up. But we'll work through it. Just take us a little while. Maybe they won't cut us off before that happens.
During the night, a hard rain fell, turning the hard Pender County clay into a soft, miry mess. Being stuck on a deck is nothing new for these drivers, especially for trucks with manual transmissions. But these new trucks are equipped with automatic transmissions. That in itself presents a whole different batch of problems. These trucks are equipped with traction control systems, so when they spin, they stop.
This area that we're in is a lot of clay. And actually there's sand underneath the clay. All this clay comes from the Cape Fear River when it floods every year. Well, that clay is really, really slick. And we got these new trucks and they're automatics. They've got traction control systems on them. And my pickup's got it. And that will get you stuck quicker than anything I can think of, because as soon as that wheel starts breaking free, it derates the motor and it won't let it spin.
Good morning, fam. This is Wayne with Bobby GOODSON'S all-terrain logging. As I was coming in the woods this morning, I noticed the roads and stuff were real wet. And I got close to the deck, seen Daniel, he was stuck. Gary, he was stuck. Justin got them all out, and I'm on the deck now loading pulpwood. Right now, we're on a quarter thing with Georgetown, so the thing we can haul today, the turnbull log. So I got a call this morning. I've been displaced with my house about a whole year. They told me this morning, Papa, I get my keys today. So I'm very excited about that. So I'm loading pulpwood. Try to get out of these guys' way so they can haul some wood today. Hopefully get something done. I know it's kind of wet. It's a wet month. Look at the sky. It's gonna rain again pretty soon, look like. But we've been through this. We got through it in the years past. We can get through it. It's gonna be a little tough time, but hope everybody can keep calm and we'll get it done. Till next time, peace out.
Well, it's Friday morning. Pretty much every mill is closed today. Turnbull's the only people that are buying. Georgetown cut us off yesterday afternoon. They won't buy till Monday. A mill in Lumberton that's taking the gum logs, they're not buying till Monday. So we're just trying to get all the trailers loaded up and haul a couple of Turnbull. Last night we had a pretty good rain and deck's a mess, and we're having to push and pull all the trucks in. And I'm waiting to hear back right now from Dave Robinson to see if we can get some mats out here. Because this stuff's half clay, half sand, mostly clay I think, and I don't know if it's going to dry out in time for Monday. So that's the goal today, just haul a couple little logs and get everything loaded up for Monday.
The next day on the deck is not much better. Although the rain is gone, the mud remains. In an effort for the trucks to gain traction, Samichio begins laying mats down at the deck. I don't know about y'all, but I think this old boy's seen better days.
Y'all know that Corbett Paper or Corbett Timber Company is the people I've been working with now for the last 25 years. And Corbett is a family-owned business, and they got a lot of land. They own a lot of land. I'm not sure exactly how much, but it's somewhere around 150,000 to 200,000 acres. Well, back in the day, the heyday, I guess back in the 30s and 40s, 50s, they used to have these basket plants that made these bushel baskets to put farm produce in. And that was their mainstay for years and years and years. But in the last few years, that market has kind of fell off, and they started making veneer strips, which I didn't even know they used it like that, but they're like little veneer strips they put in between bricks. Well, that's been their big market here for the last year or two I know of. Well, the mill that we've been hauling to in Wilmington has been open for 104 years. That's kind of hurt us because that's always been our short haul, because everything else has been a long ways away. If we get wood piled up, we can send the trucks on a short haul and get back pretty quick, and then we can send them out again. Well, now we don't have that. Right now we're hauling, even the gum logs, we're hauling that as far as 125 miles away. We got some other mills that's closer, but you know, one mill just opened up south of Lumberton that's been a saving grace for us. Right now they're cutting cross ties, but I think that's probably 50 or 60 miles away, and that's really the closest haul we got now. But it's just, I guess, a sign of the times. I mean, for a plant to be open for that many years and all of a sudden have to shut down. I mean, Eddie and them looked around for a while, checking with all the customers, and nothing looked promising, so they just decided to shut it down for right now. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't think it's shut down for good. Hopefully they'll just mothball for a little while, and things pick back up. They'll get back at it, because that's been a good meal. It's been a mainstay in this community for many years. It's not normal practice to have just people off the street to come out here, but if you find me and you come out here, I'm not going to run you off. But you know, and if you're a logger and you know a little bit about our industry and you know what to look out for, I don't want anybody to come out here and get hurt and then I'll be in a lawsuit. But people come out here all the time and look at our operation, and I don't mind that, because that's how you educate the public on what we're doing. And because we're not deforesting, we're just doing a job that somebody wants us to do, and it's replanted or it grows back by itself. And we got to educate the public on what we're doing, because it is a necessary evil. Or I don't even call it evil. It's a necessary job that we have to do. I would love to sell t-shirts and hats, but I got to convince my wife of it. We did that back when the show was being aired, and it almost worked her to death. But I've got grandkids coming up now, so I might have some cheap help. So stay tuned, and we will try to get some back on the market if I can get my little grandkids to help box them up. So stay tuned, and we'll let you know when we get some for sale. Got two older W900s, and they are for sale. Justin has one, and I've got Gary's trucks for sale. Of course, Monkey's got wrecked, and Justin sold one of his other ones. But they are 06, 07 Kenworths with a C15 A-cert CAT engine in them, 40,000-pound suspension. The trucks are good trucks. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just the fact that we don't have a truck mechanic. And it's just me and Justin doing the mechanic work for the most part, and we're having to haul so far, and the guys are on the road a lot late at night, early in the morning, and I want to give it something dependable for those guys to drive in. But if anybody out there is interested in them, please give us a call. They are for sale, and they're priced right. You know, I have mentioned it before, and I think I hit on it a little bit on this video here. A lot of our woes right now is because of the tariff stuff that's going on with the U.S. and China. Yes, it's hurting us bad right now, but, and my wife said I didn't explain it very well, what Trump is doing, it's going to hurt, and it's probably going to hurt. It's going to get worse before it gets better. But what he's doing, it should have been done 20 years ago. Everybody outsourcing our jobs, that's why this country, we don't make anything anymore. You know, this country was great in World War II when we made everything. We were a builder, we sold our stuff. Now we're a consuming nation. So it's gonna hurt to get it back even keel again where we can bring some of our businesses back. So I wanna say that, yes, the tariffs are killing us right now, but Donald Trump is doing the right thing, and I hope he don't back off. I hope he sticks with it now, because we're already in the pain. We're in the throes of it now. Stick with it, and let's get this thing fixed so that our kids won't have to deal with the same crap when they get older, and it'll make our country a lot more prosperous, and it'll put jobs back here instead of outsourcing. guys, this is the end of our episode. Again, we need your comments. Please hit that like and share button and come back and join us. We're gonna move back on Corbett's track and we'll see if we can get in there where the beavers are flooding. Stay tuned. Six loads of hardwood, pulpwood. Of course, the contractor hauling all that, and then our trucks get, try to get too short.